when you search for freedom, you make an object of it. That cannot be. It cannot be an object. It has no thing in it. It has all in it and nothing in it. Freedom is a state of being. You cannot make an object of it to catch it. And the mind says that you have to go and catch freedom. Go for freedom. First, it's objectifying the happiness of being as a person and going in the world, and it objectifies the things in the world and you go after it. Then you go after the happiness of possessions and whatever you can reach in the world, and that is an object, sort of. Not the happiness, but that what seems to make you happy. That's what the mind tells you. And then you find out that it's not true. It's not true at all. Mind cannot make you happy, and not the things that it points to, like money or whatever. It cannot make you happy. You find out, you have seen that, and then you search for the other side of the creation, for that where it arises. That is the cause of all, the cause of yourself. It is yourself, but it has no form. And now mind points you to that and says, go there, practice, try to reach it. You have to reach that and meditate and do this and do that, and then it makes an object of freedom. So you are bound and prison of the mind. Mind will not give up. But you have seen it through. You have seen what it does. So don't fight it, because then it gets stronger even. And don't listen to it. Ignore the mind and see where you are. There can be no other place for you to be than your own self. The free self, free of all forces that make you try to find it. It's nonsense. You are the self, you are the free self, and your expression is visible in all forms, in all things that appear, is your own self. Myself is in me, and myself is also in you. And yourself is in you and in me. It is only one self-expression, expressing itself in all forms, in all beings, in all happenings, and in none of that. Then it doesn't express itself, then it is silence. But both is the self, whether it be silent or it is moving. It's expressing itself. And don't listen to the mind that says, come, I will take you there. Mind has to ignore it. No fighting, but no listening anymore. Mind cannot take you to happiness. Mind itself is born out of feeling lonely and feeling separated. Then the mind came up and it said, I will take you, but it will not. Don't listen to the mind. You are free. You are always the self. You cannot go to yourself. That's all. And that's the big joke. The mind thinks itself that it brings you to your freedom. No, mind only takes you to the prison of the world around you, the illusion. So don't ignore life, that's not possible, but ignore what the ego tells you about life. And that's possible, not to listen. You cannot ignore life because you get up in the morning, something wakes you up. It is put in working. It's not your doing. It's the reality inside that wants to express itself. And that's why you have this body, the self choose a body to go in creation, to express itself, to discover itself, find itself, be itself. And there's nothing to do. You are the form of the self, the visible form of the invisible self, and all people are the visible forms of the invisible self. So even if I don't know you, I am you inside, and you are me. There's only one self. It's visible in everything, in every expression, and you can call it God. That's what the people say. God is all, everything. Yes, and God is that which is your inner self. There's no need to find and to search, and especially not to listen to the ego that sends you to do all kinds of things difficult and to find yourself. But you are the self, and the ego is something that came up as a little shadow. And don't just be the light, and the shadow is okay. It's not worse trouble. It's not harmful anymore. But you don't listen to it anymore. Yeah, that's what happens. The self is not findable. It's not destructible. It's never was. It's always has been here. It will always be here. It will always be, not here especially in this place, but it will always be. And that's your reality. You will always be. Body or not, whatever happens, it's the expression of that what you always are. Nothing to do, and everything to do. Whatever feels, come and do it. If you enjoy it. It's just the expression of yourself. It's not to gain something or to become something. It's the expression of what you are. Enjoy that. Enjoy the self in that. And see the self in all beings. That's the real self, visible as all beings, and invisible in all beings. And it is what you are. Form, formless, doesn't matter. The self never changes. Isn't that good? Mwah. That's happy, happy, happy. Enjoy every day the being, the self. In a dream, you can experience things and they feel as reality. Because when you're in the dream, you don't know that you are dreaming, so you feel it as real. When something happens in the dream, you react by running away or going after it. But anyway, it's not real because it's a dream. And you know by the dream how it feels. So this is what God is doing. God is all there is. There's nothing that is not God, the totality of being. And He wants to experience what it is to be, in a separated position and to have things, to experience things. And you could see it. That's why we are here. We are this God going into the dream of manifestation. And then God experience through us what is all the things that are going on and to react and to feel, and He expresses Himself through us. But first we think we are the one, because we don't know we are in this dream of God. It feels so good to understand God is doing this. The totality is in a form in us, and through us He experiences His own free state. You could see it as, for example, you cannot walk and you cannot go out the door, and you cannot travel, so you are bound to the place where you are. But you would like to know how it is to be, for example, let's say, to go to a big city and to experience the atmosphere and what is going on there. So you cannot go there, but you dream of going there. And in this dream, you yourself, you can walk and you can do anything. So you experience a lot of things in that city that you liked to visit, but you don't know it because you are now in the dream. And you don't know that you are at home and you cannot walk because you are in the dream. And in the dream, you meet a lot of people and things happening. And then by going into the dream, which is felt as real, you know how it is to be able to walk and to do things. That's a simple idea of what God is doing through us. He cannot go into His own world because He is already this world. He is everything. He is the totality, but He is the unformed, the formless entity, the formless energy that doesn't move. But He wants to know how it is to be in a form and to move. So He starts to dream. This God, this totality, starts to dream of forms that move and that go everywhere and that have that meet others and that have experiences. So now you can know this is the reality of God's dream. He now knows how it is to be like you, what you play. But it's not you, it is the dream. You don't know that you are in the dream. You don't know that you are God Himself who went into this dream form. But you are, there is nothing but God. Everywhere it's God in that dream form. It's you, your own self. Everywhere you see yourself in the dream form, but you forgot it because You yourself went into this dream form and you think they are others. But it's all your own dream. So there's nothing to do or to find out or to realize, because there is nothing but your own dream. You are the dreamer. You are this God imagining all forms, and then you enter all those forms, but it's not real. It's the dream. You dream of this. When I dream in my bed that I am running somewhere around in the rain, I am wet and cold in the dream, but I experienced that as wet and cold, but in reality I lay dry and warm in my bed. This is just a dream of going out in the rain. And this here, whatever we meet and experience, we feel it as real, but it is the dream of the great entity, this great being, the God that we ourselves we are. There's only one I am, and it dreams all the I ams. Yeah, you are all the self. There's only one self, and it dreams that it enters in billions of little selves. To know how that feels, to experience that, to be far from home and then to come back. That's what God dreams. He's going away and he comes back. That's what you dream. You go out in the rain and you come back in the warmth. There's nothing but God. There's nothing but you. There's nothing but self. I hope you can feel it. It makes you happy, because there's nothing but this happiness, this bliss. It's an adventure to go away and to come back, but it's not real, it's a dream. It's a dream adventure. You are safe, you are warm, you are home. To know that you are God, you dream of different forms, but because it's dream, they still are God. Only in the dream they don't know that they are God. And is a good example when you see the sky. The sky is composed of it's air and temperature and molecules and whatever is in the air present, and it's everywhere. The sky is all over the world, so it cannot know what it is to be sky. And then it forms clouds. The clouds are the same as the sky. It's temperature and moisture and humidity and molecules and atoms. It's all together. It's the same sky, but now it's visible, contracted in this cloud. And the cloud can travel all over the world. It can see the mountains below, it can see the cities with all the people, it can see the ocean, it can see boats on the ocean, it can see whatever is there to be seen on earth. The clouds can travel, and that way the sky knows how it is down there to be to know what it is to travel around and to see all, because the sky itself cannot travel around and see all, experience it, because it is all sky around the earth, and the clouds in it are the same sky, but they can travel wherever and experience things. Well, that's a sort of example. what God does. God is the totality, God is all, and he cannot travel somewhere because he is already there. He cannot know what it is to be there because he is all. When you are all, you don't see anything. When you put all colors on each other, there's no color left, it's black, there's nothing to see. So that's what God does. He dreams. He makes a sort of form of himself. Like the cloud, or the sky makes a cloud. This God makes a human being of himself. And a human being can travel around and experience things. It's nice to feel it that way. There's nothing but God. And you know what? You are that God. Because the cloud is the sky. There's no difference, only it's visible. But it's the same sky. And we all people, we are this God. But we are visible. God is not visible, but we are the visible God. We are this oneness. That's why we long for being in peace and warmth and in the goodness, because we are goodness. Thank you. Makes me so happy. God is happiness. Yes. You are this. Feel it. Experience it. Be it. You are it. The spiritual teachers learned us that we have to become free. That's impossible, because what we are is freedom. Because you are free to imagine things, to dream. So you need not become free. You are free. And what you dream about is just something that's appearing in your dream. And then in that dream there appears also a teacher who says that you need to do things to become free. It's not possible. The guru itself, the teacher itself, is an object in the dream of that great free state that exists. But it has no form. It dreams forms. And the forms think they need to become free. But that's the game. It is hilarious, because the dreamer sees all his own forms in the dream trying to become free and pushing each other aside. No, I was here first, you go away, I want to be first. That's all happening in the dream of that what is free already. And that's what you are. You dream all sorts of happenings and forms, and then the forms think they had to become free. They need to become free. So they search for a teacher in that state where they are, in the dream state. Nothing exists. It's just a dream of that one being. There's only one being dreaming of all those forms. And you are that one being. Don't enter that dream and think it's real. You can enter the dream, but see it as a dream and enjoy it. You can see everything. You can experience all kinds of things. But when you think you are real in a dream, then you need to come out. And you will never come out because you don't exist. It's a dream. It's a mirage. It's not real. The one dreaming it, the one imagining it, the one thinking it's there, that one has no form. And that's what you are, the formless awareness, empty of all the imaginations. So imagination can try to become real or become free of itself, will not work. Only when that what is dreamt is awakened by understanding it's a dreamt object. Inside it is understanding, there's a glow of reality arising. Then you understand you are the one dreamer. You are not the dreamt object. So funny game, but it's always the same. It goes on until you see what you are. You are awakened already. You are awake. And awake is imagining dream forms. So that's all. For the fun or for the feeling, the reality of itself. You experience prison, to be imprisoned, and then you understand you were never imprisoned because you were not really there. That's all. That's freedom. This is the shortest realization of the self ever. We only went into the illusion for the sensation of coming out. But it never happened. It was only an idea in the mind to feel the sensation. So going in illusion and coming out never happened. But the sensation of freedom remains. That's your everlasting bliss. Happy, happy. And all that searching for freedom in the illusion will not help you because you are not in the illusion. And when you think you are in the illusion, you can never find your freedom there because it is illusion. It never happened. It is amazing, amazing bliss. It's the same when you have a toothache. It can be very horrible. And you are so relieved when it stops. But when the toothache stops, it is not there. And the relief stays. You are relieved for no thing. Likewise, freedom. Freedom is freedom, whether you think you are in the illusion and coming out, or you don't think at all. Freedom is freedom. Only after thinking you are not in freedom, there is this bliss and this happiness when you know you are freedom. But in freedom there was never no freedom, so you are happy with nothing. Only you didn't know it before. So you had to imagine other things, the opposite, and then you are happy with that what is. It was there all the time. Only after thinking it was not there, you felt the happiness and the bliss, for it is there. It means you are happy with something that is not. It gets more funny the more you understand the whole situation, the mind story. You think you are imprisoned, and then you realize you are not imprisoned, so there's nothing, and you are happy with that nothing. But there was nothing in the first place, but you were not happy. You had to feel the opposite to feel this. And in reality, it never happened. It's just an idea. Suppose I could not walk. And then all of a sudden you see, but I can walk. Oh yes, yippee! But it was never true that you couldn't walk. It was only imagination. Well, this whole creation is imagination. It's not there. It's not there. And that's the bliss of realization. Realizing the self that it is not what it thinks, what was made up, but it knows it is formless bliss, 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 everlasting, everlasting peace and bliss and joy and happiness. Ananda.